Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, where you'll receive exclusive content to videos that are not available on YouTube. And for those of you that like the one video instead of the 2 video format, you get that as well.
Bam.
For $1.
Bam.
It's $1 a month.
Yep. I think we're cooler than a bag of Cheetos.
You can't even get that for $1.
Hey, that's true. Not hot Cheetos, though. Only like regular Cheetos.
So check us out on Patreon, guys. We hope to see you there. What's up, YouTube? Your boys are back again.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan, my man George.
Shaking, guys. How y'all living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course.
Yeah, man. So I guess this is the end of Thrash Week.
Yeah, man.
Even though it's been like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Maybe we should like label the, maybe make the title Marathon. That way we're not restricted to a week.
Yeah, I like that.
Bottom line is the whole point of Thrash Week was to just give Thrash a little bit more shine.
Yeah,
Delve a little bit deeper into Thrash. Touch some bands. I think we kind of tried to mix it up, do some bands we hadn't done before.
Yep.
And also do some big dogs. This is a big dog.
Yeah, Slayer, man.
And Slayer, Angel of Death. You guys said that this was, a lot of you guys said this is one of the best metal songs, period. From a lot of people in the comments. I'm keep it real. Definitely one of the best thrash songs for sure.
When we did the poll, it came in, it tied with South of Heaven, right?
Yep.
Tied with South of Heaven.
We did a poll on Patreon,
Yeah,
and South of Heaven and Angel of Death tied. And we just happened to choose South of Heaven, but this did tie, and we knew we were going to get back to it because we kind of owed this to our patrons.
Yeah,
we felt
man.
like we owed it to y'all. And on top of that,
It's Thrash Week.
Thrash Week, big time requests from people on all of our platforms for a very long
Yes,
time.
sir.
This is not like this to me is just what was one of those songs we were going to eventually get to regardless, even outside of Thrash Week. So now this is off the album Rain in Blood, and we did the song Rain in Blood that we didn't like too much.
I thought we liked that one.
No, I'm like that. I would never forget that song. We didn't like that one too much. That was earlier on in our metal journey, but even still, I don't really like that song. We did, and then of course this album was made in '86.
Yes, sir.
86. So this is this is an album that you guys said is a big album for Slayer. Broke a lot of boundaries in metal. This song in particular, you said broke a lot of boundaries. We've done Seasons in the Abyss, which we really enjoyed, and of course, as I mentioned, South of Heaven was a really dope song. So I mean, we've liked pretty much almost every song we've done from Slayer, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
man.
it was quite the comeback.
Yeah, it was.
Quite the turnaround story for Slayer. Now, we haven't, delved into their catalog, so I can't say that if I'm really big on Slayer or not, or if you guys just happen to give us the right songs and we've been doing the right songs, but they have some stuff that we liked, and when we've liked it, we've really liked it. And when we haven't liked Slayer, we really not like Slayer. So we'll see how this one plays out. Let's get into it. Slayer, Angel of Death. This feels like it's going to be very thrashy. Yeah. I thought that was an instrument until he when he hit that note. I'm like, nee! What the fuck? I was like, what is that? That just caught me off guard the way his voice like hit that high pitched note there. But when he came down, I was like, oh, he's screaming. He's screaming. All right, let me start that over, man. Sounds like he's in extreme pain. Excruciating. That's what it sounded like. I'm sure that's probably what they were going for. Excruciating pain.
Auschwitz, the meaning of pain, the way that I want you to die. Slow down, immense decay.
Definitely crash the hell out, man.
Forced in, like cattle you run. Stepped out, your life work. Human minds for the angel of death. 400,000 more to die.
God, please.
Angel of death. Mark to the kingdom of the dead. Sadistic, surgeon of the mind. Sadist of the noblest blood. Destroying without mercy. To benefit the Aryan race. Surgery with no anesthesia. Feel the knife pierce you intensely. Inferior, no use to mankind.
Yeah. That scream that he let out though, to me, it sounded like he was in, I was telling Ryan, it sounded like he was in excruciating pain. That's what it sounded like to me. When he's like, you know what I mean? When he let that out initially. That's why I wanted to start that back over because it caught me off guard. And then the first line here in the song in verse 1 is Auschwitz, the meaning of pain. I don't know if it's supposed to sort of, resemble pain, the pain that the people in the concentration camps were going through. But that's what that scream made me feel like. This dude is in extreme pain. Like, it didn't feel like
it was like a slow death.
Yeah.
That's what he says, right? Slow death, immense decay.
Yeah, showers that cleanse you of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's just what I wanted to touch on, man. What do you think, though, man? You said it was thrashed out.
Yeah, very thrashed out, man. I just think you have to have that, though, right? You have to have elements of this. I feel like Slayer always has elements in their song that I don't like. I guess that's like the Slayer MO, right? Sped up, super fast, aggressive. Instrumentation, the way that they play their instruments is so aggressive and so fast. And I know that that's what makes thrash thrash. I know that a lot of people like that about thrash, but I'm just not a big fan of that, obviously. But because the way this song started,
we like medium thrash.
What's that?
We like medium thrash. Is that a thing? Medium thrash?
Medium thrash.
Can I get some medium thrash, please? Like you're ordering some shit. Let me get a medium thrash.
Hold the heavy thrash.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But the way the song started, that dun 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 dun, I thought they were gonna take me into a different groove. I'm gonna reserve my final judgment till we get to the end of the song because I'm thinking that a transition or something's gonna come in.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat a little bit here and look up some of the what's going on here with the lyricism because I don't want to jump out the window. So let me, as we're listening to it, I'm gonna kind of look up some stuff here about what this song is about, what they were trying to accomplish here with this song. So, all right, let's get back to it.
To the kingdom of the dead, sadistic surgeon of demise, sadist of the noblest blood, destroying without mercy to benefit the Aryan race. Surgery with no anesthesia, evil knife, pierce you intensely. Inferior, no use to mankind, stripped out, screaming out to die. Angel of doubt. To the
You know what, George?
I'm not mad at this one as opposed to some of the other classic songs.
Watch out! Angel of death!
Okay, here we go. Right on cue, right?
Let's see. Hold on.
Hey, Mike.
Let's see.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, all right. All right, see, I knew it had to be coming. For this song to tie with first place, I knew something had to be coming.
Yeah.
I knew it. Something had to be coming. But before we proceed, because, that was funky. I like that transition.
It was funny.
So
That's why I pointed to you. Here it comes.
Yep, I'm sure I'm going to like it at this point on. From this point on, from a minute, 50 seconds on, I'm sure I'm going to be like, you know what, this is hot. But one thing I wanted to touch on, man, because I know you said we were going to kind of pull up some information on some of the lyrics, man. This verse 2 here, though, man, it's like very, very like disturbing. Sadistic surgeon of demise, sadist of the noblest blood, destroying without mercy to benefit the Aryan race. Surgery with no anesthesia, which is kind of fucking crazy, right? So I feel like the tempo in which they're playing here is like mimicking fucking craziness. Like a crazy mind of someone that's maybe just fucking, I don't know,
sadistic.
a psychopath or something.
He's sadistic. Exactly what they said. A sadistic surgeon of demise.
But
that sounds about right.
But I really feel like the music is kind of complementing this craziness and the lyricism.
Yeah,
well,
no, it sounds crazy. And us kind of talking about the lyrics, I know I said earlier on, like, by you describing
Right.
that, I noticed earlier on, and it said Auschwitz, which of course we know is a concentration camp.
Right.
Obviously during the Holocaust, during World War II. I noticed that, and I was like, I wanted to get some context before I made some comments on why they kind of went the route of talking about this. You know what I mean? So I was like, so. As we were kind of listening, I went into Wiki, and it's saying here on the Angel of Death song itself, and it's saying that it does, in fact, detail a Nazi physician, Joseph Mengele, I believe, his human experience at the Auschwitz concentration camp in World War II. So I was like, okay. And it's saying here in Wiki that it's more of a description of Mengele's abuses rather than endorsing them. Because that's kind of how I was initially maybe taking it. I was like, is this
they're supporting it?
Yeah, is it glorifying the shit? Or is it,
Yeah.
what are they trying to do here? You know what I mean? Which was kind of what threw me off. So I guess it's more of a description of taking you inside the mind of a
psychopath
of a sadistic surgeon. I guess is how I'm taking the song. So
Yeah, man, I'm glad you read that, man, because I think that the musicianship is kind of coupled with the what's being said here perfectly. I think they're doing that great.
yeah.
Whether I agree with it or not is irrelevant, but then they got into my transition, though. The musicianship that they're putting on as far as that transition so far, I know we just got into the shit.
Yeah.
But I know I'm hoping that I'm going to love it. I'm
hoping that it stays here. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Stay in this pocket. No, I'm just joking. But so far, so good after the transition.
Okay.
Minute
okay.
50 seconds on, I think we're good.
Let's keep it going.
I think I'm going to jump out the window and say, from this point on, the second half of the song, I think I'm going to really, really dig. So
Let's get into it. We're still at the beginning of the song. Let's see kind of what they're doing with it, because we know that this song is like a huge, it says here even in the wiki as you were talking, Ryan, and I was listening. I wasn't ignoring it. But it was saying that it's a very influential song in the in sort of the scope of thrash metal as well.
Gotcha.
Speed metal. A lot they're saying it's speed metal in here as well. So
Okay.
Hey, thrash/speed. So
let's do it.
let's keep it going.
Infamous. Watch out. Angel of Death.
This is nice though. This is nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Inside your brain, pressuring your skull begins pushing through your eyes. Burning flesh drips away. Test the heat, burns your skin, your mind starts to boil. Freezing cold, cracks your limbs. How long can you last in this frozen water burial? So together, joining heads. Just a matter of time till you rip yourself apart. Millions laid out in their crowded tombs. 16 ways to achieve the Holocaust.
Oh, I was able to bring that back there.
Yeah,
The halftime.
Yeah.
Seas of blood, very light. Smell your death as it burns deep inside of you. About the names as it bleed. Pray for the end of your wide awake nightmare with the pain. Reach out for you. His face of death staring down
here
your
are kind of like this is
See, and I'm glad you said. Go ahead, man. I didn't mean to
No,
cut
go
you off.
ahead,
and
go
shit.
ahead.
No.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. I was just saying I like it. I like these riffs in here. Yeah, keep going. Yep.
That's why I'm glad that you just said that, because when you were like, you know what, this is one thing I want to make clear, man, is because I feel like we've sounded like a broken record when we said the sped up, like super thrashed out sound is like something that we really kind of don't get into. But this is a perfect example. The tempo's not slow here. When they went into that transition, it was slow, like and then it kind of went into this sped up version of the transition, right? I like this. I think this sounds good. And
Medium thrash.
No,
That's a t-shirt, man. Let me get some. Let me get some medium thrash, bro.
No, I just think that the way that they're composing this, though, to me, just the way it sounds to me, guys, I just think it's a little bit more palatable. I'm able to receive it a lot better because I'm hearing the little nuances in how they're playing.
Yep.
Even though it may not be as difficult as playing it at that sped up, super thrashed out level, it still sounds better to me because I can hear different nuance, like that way that I can't imitate the shit, but the way that they're able to you're able to depict little elements in the music, I can do that a little bit easier. Maybe it's just my brain can't wrap around the speed in which
it's not that they just
you know
play
what I'm
it
saying?
fast. It's just a lot of what makes metal sort of special. What's made it special is just the live performance of this. And I just think in different environments, man, that sped up thrash shit when you were just trying to like head nod to oblivion. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
when you're getting it in and you're in a
yeah.
mosh pit. That serves, I feel like, a purpose. So I try not to read too deeply into that. And this is based off of, what I've heard from people in the comments as well. Some people just say, man, it's just fucking thrash, dude. It's just meant to be crazy. It's just meant to sound crazy, hard, and aggressive. And, so that coupled with other people have said, which is like in certain environments, that fast-paced, that thrashy fast paced. Just it's a different energy in certain environments as well. So
Makes sense, man.
That's how I'm taking it, man. But yeah, to your point though, man. Of course, I love that initial transition. How it was a little bit slower. We like catching grooves. Even the riffs within that I thought were very well played. And then this next part where it's kind of sort of the medium tempo here,
Medium
what I mean,
thrash.
has been dope as well. So I actually like the song. Well, I like the music of the song, I should say. I like the music itself. Let's get back to it. Right here.
Very light. Lay it down as it burns deep inside of you. About to make as it bleed. Praying for the end of your wide awake nightmare with the pain. Reach out for you. His face of death staring down, your blood's running cold. Check your cells, dying eyes, feeding on the screams of the mutant he's creating. Pathetic, harmless victims left to die. Rapid into the death, flying through. Yeah.
I just want to go up in the air with But I get it though, man. I see the fascination with Slayer though. I see the fascination though.
George, man.
Yeah, I get it, but
I get to a point, man, where I'm like, I listen to certain songs and I'm really trying to have my free thinker cap on, but this, oh man, why did they take us out of that groove, man?
Just say it, man. Just get
Why?
it out. Just
Why?
get it out.
Why?
You don't like the fucking fast parts of metal. You don't like the super fast parts. That's all it is.
Oh my goodness,
I
man.
think it pains you to say that because you just don't like it, man. You don't like that. It's okay. It's okay.
You get so upset about something because you're like you really like. I really love that pocket, and I really thought that was going to stay there. And I know this is just kind of like the solo version of it, so it could come back. But
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I'm just
Here's the thing.
I'm so disgusted.
No, I get it, man.
You know
I
what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
I'm not even a huge fan of that either. I guess how I'm looking at this song and how I try to look at metal in general is what I'm looking at and what I'm hearing in this song is what's separating. So this is 1986, so we kind of know now.
Yeah,
Metallica launches Thrash. They solidify their place as part of the Big Four because of that. They launched Thrash, so you have no choice but to include them in the Big Four. They made the shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or they
Pioneered it.
They pioneered it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So and then I look at Megadeth, who are more like the high level musicians, right? They're the sort of that in terms of nuance and just again musicianship. That's kind of what I feel like solidified Megadeth. So musicianship, Megadeth, Metallica launching it, but also Metallica in terms of versatility and all this other stuff as well, and then commercial viability as well. So then I'm like, okay, where does Slayer fit in? Slayer are the fucking maniacs.
Yeah.
They're the hardcore, aggressive thrasher face-off, talking about, controversial subject matter, but also the riffs are nasty too.
They
So
are.
a big part of why Slayer, I feel like, solidified themselves, and this is kind of, I feel like what we've seen in the wiki and what people have said, is because of this. It's because of that crazy thrash side of Slayer, you know what I mean? But also at the same time, they're still able to give you really cool grooves in the midst of that. So although I don't necessarily like the way that sounds either, I just understand that that's just what makes Slayer who they are. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay to not like it.
I know, but I really want to like the song though. I mean, because there's elements in the song I'm like, yeah, that's hot. But they just,
me too.
And it's just like, it's just hard, man.
I think the only difference between me and you in this case, Ryan, is that I don't feel bad about not liking it. I don't like that the fast splatter parts, and I'm cool with that. Just like I don't typically like harsh vocals in metal. That's just not something I like.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I don't feel bad about it, and it's nothing personal. We've liked a lot of metal. You know what I'm saying? And there's parts of the song that I think are really, really dope.
Yeah,
like
me
the
too.
part with the riffs where they're like do 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 do. I just want to go up in the air.
Yeah, and they're like, do. Yeah.
That's not how they
And that's
play the
my
guitar.
point.
But
The little nuances and
are
the
great.
little elements that they put in there, man.
are nasty.
That's
Nasty.
That's hard, man. And I just really wish. I guess that's really you make a good point there, George. I really wish that the elements that I did like in Slayer's music, they did more often. I really wish they did that more often, because I would be like, they would probably be one of
Seriously,
they'd be one of my favorites. Seriously, you know what I'm
Slayer's
saying?
got
I'd be
some
like,
nasty riffs. South of
yes.
Heaven is nasty.
Yeah,
to me.
man.
And that didn't really have a lot of the super thrashy parts, which is why that's like on the playlist.
Right.
That is on the
It's
playlist.
nasty.
And I don't think that's
So-
going anywhere. I don't think that's gonna be permanent playlist. That's
Yeah.
a great song. Seasons in the Abyss, the same thing. You know what I mean? The Seasons in the Abyss wasn't as
Yeah.
heavy thrashy, but of course, Rain and Blood was. We didn't like
Yep.
that, and now this one is as well. So I'm happy that we ended up choosing South of Heaven, though.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's finish it up.
But I get it, though. I get
Yeah, dude, that was.
Angel of Death!
They're playing their ass off. They're playing.
Infamous!
God,
Watch
please.
out! Angel of Death! Angel of Death!
Yeah, but they're Slayer. You know what I mean? That is
Yeah.
them. To me, that's the biggest thing about them, is that I feel like, first of all, I feel like that aged well. Even though there's certain
Yeah.
parts, even that fast part is not something that, you know, is either one of our things. Like you were saying, I think they were playing at a high level. It takes skill, and I want to
Yeah.
make something clear too, because I don't want people to take anything I said the wrong way about, you know, to be able to pull off thrash. You know what I mean? I think everyone has to be, for the most part, have to be really good musicians. So when I made the whole Megadeth and Metallica comparison, I'm just saying that I feel like Megadeth is sort of in the upper echelon of technical ability with their music and just with their musicianship. But everyone, you know what I mean? Slayer, this is very good musicianship. What we've heard from Metallica
Yeah.
is very good musicianship. So they're all great musicians. But I just feel like Megadeth separated themselves from being like in that upper echelon of
Yeah.
A+ musicians. And I think Slayer, this aggressive, sort of demonic, crazy, controversial subject matter with some nasty riffs
Yeah.
is what made Slayer. And Metallica probably is just the most versatile I've heard out of all the thrash
Yeah.
metal bands.
I
could
agree with
just,
that.
You know what I mean? So
I agree with that.
They all have their place, and they all show their greatness. It's just a preference on what we, I think, like to listen to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all. You know, but I definitely see why this group is held in high esteem. I understand why they made a huge impact. Even hearing this now, this shit to me sounds fresh. I think that's a very good thrashed out song. I just happen to like medium thrash more so than super thrash or extra large thrash.
A dash. Just give me a dash, a sprinkle
Yeah,
of
give me
thrash.
So shout out to them, man.
And I think that's a great point, though, George, man. And I agree with you wholeheartedly on Metallica and the Megadeths. And so I think that you really gave us a lot to think about. And it really kind of makes sense. I think that puts the puzzle together there for me, you know, because I really want to like this band, man. And there's so many good elements within this band that I like a lot, man. And I really wish, and again, it's just my personal preference, guys. I just really wish they kind of kept some of those elements in the song longer. And, you know, I got to hit you with at least one analogy real quick, man. Slayer to me is like the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs, I don't know if you guys watched them. Over the years, man, they have just been they're like coached very, very well. I mean, they are just like a well-fine oil machine, right? But I don't necessarily like watching a full basketball game from them because they're so technically sound and they're so by the book that it lacks the flash, like in the style that I like in basketball. With the exception of Manu Ginobili, every time I would watch the Spurs, I knew Manu Ginobili would give me some elements of Flash. Like, you know what? This boy is actually all right. That's how I feel about Slayer. Like, they give me elements of things that I'm like, dude, this is dope. But then they'll take me out of it with the other elements that I necessarily don't like. So it's hard for me to, like this song, in the case in point, this song, that, you know, that transition was fire, that the groove was fire. But the beginning, I was like,
Can I add to that?
What's up? Yeah.
Like, would you say, like, we're talking about on and off camera, guys. What I've noticed is that out of all the metal we've done over the last couple years, and the metal that not only that we've done on camera, but off camera as well, I've noticed that great grooves that really make an impact on me are just rare.
Yeah.
And Slayer happens to give you really great grooves.
They do.
But they don't get enough of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to your point, it's like, why? It's rare that I get this shit that I really like, that I feel like that's gonna stick with me, that I'm truly gonna listen to all the time.
Exactly.
There's a lot of metal that makes our playlist because we just think it's great and we experiment with it, but then it's not on the playlist very long because there's not enough of
it doesn't have the staying power.
Staying power. You know what I'm saying? So Slayer has grooves that have a lot of staying power.
They do.
But they just kind of like
they take you out of it.
Take you out of it. And that's just an opinion for people who prefer grooves. So I just wanted to add.
Yeah, exactly.
To that,
That's perfect. That's exactly what I was trying to say, man.
Yeah.
So perfect.
It's not going to be playlist only because of the fast parts of it, but I really appreciated what they were able to do in this song. And some of those grooves were nasty. The riffs were nasty. And that scream at the beginning was just crazy. Threw me off. So, you know, shout out to these guys.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to these guys. So I thought that was that's actually a really good song to end Thrash Week off of, because that was a super thrashed out song.
It was.
Seriously, that was thrashed out, and it was a big dog and Slayer.
And it gave us a lot to talk about, man, and think about as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Indeed.
which is dope.
Indeed. All right, guys, so that's the end of Thrash Week. You know, we enjoyed doing this. We appreciate you guys kind of tuning in for it. We're going to be doing this more often. We don't know if we're going to get right back onto another genre and do classic rock or grunge week or whatever the case may be, but we plan to continue to do this.
Yes, sir.
Because I think we like the response and we enjoyed it ourselves. And I think it's just necessary if you really want to take the journey that we're trying to take and learn. You need to kind of go in a little bit more sort of depth into each genre.
Yes,
so that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also, guys, we have a Patreon channel. It will allow you to get exclusive access to our content. The link for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan, Lost to Vegas.
We out.
We out.